Countdown Conspiracy, Chapter 21, Part 2. The reporters on screen speculate about his eventual trial, and to my shock and disgust, what role us Mars cadets will play in it. I can't even begin to think how that's going to go. In fact, I can't think about most of what's being broadcast at the moment. It's too painful. But as I pass one screen, I do pause to watch because it's a press conference with Dr. Schubert. I can't help but feel personally responsible for not discovering the truth about my graduate student, Dr. Schubert says. I hope to travel soon to meet with our Mars cadets and make sure they each understand how sorry and how grateful I am. They are the true heroes in this. It's because of them that the space program isn't dead. We will heal, and we will find a way to get back out there. After that, the few people standing in the halls of the hospital start clapping their hands and patting me on the back. I quickly move on. The news broadcast I'm most interested in seeing is, of course, the one story they put the least focus on, the story of our replacements. Apparently, with the international threats that piled up in the last few weeks, the ISECG moved each of our replacements to a safe house, cut off from all communication. I finally have an explanation for Sasha's disappearance, and it has nothing to do with him being dead or evil. I can't begin to describe how relieved I am. According to the news, all of our replacements are being allowed out today. I'm hoping that means I'll finally get to talk to Sasha again. I have so much to tell him. My thoughts trail off as I round a bend and find myself face to face with a memorial in one of the hospital's side alcoves. I stop walking when I realize what it's for. The memorial is a large bronzed cube with a different space exploration disaster cast on each side. It's clearly been around for a long while, as the edges of the marble platform look worn down, likely from being sat upon. I'm standing near the Space Shuttle Columbia side of the memorial. 7 astronaut faces look back at me through the bronze. I shut my eyes, trying to stop my brain from doing the math as to how many more memorial cubes we'll need to account for the 114 deaths that have just taken place. Instead, I take my bouquet and begin pulling it apart. I set one flower down by each side of the cube, stopping to pay my respects each time. Then I set one down for the memorials not yet made. Then I pull out 3 more. One for Kreshkov, with his dark eyes and contrast determination to help us be the best we could be. One for Lizzie, who did everything in her power to get me to believe in myself. And one for Ruby. Back in my hospital room, my bed's been made. I'm guessing a nurse must have come through to do it, because I know my parents never would have. My family's all sitting around waiting for me. Mom and Emmeline are playing checkers, and when I walk in, my dad hands me a package. "Just arrived," he says. He looks amused, and I notice he's ripped the return address completely off. I raise an eyebrow, taking the box and sinking onto my bed. "Open it," Emmeline insists, abandoning her game to jump up on the bed with me. "And who exactly is this mystery gift from?" I ask, carefully undoing the brown tape. No one answers, so I'm left to my own deductions. The package is bigger than a shoebox and covered in "Fragile, this side up" stickers. But before I even finish getting the tape off, the box goes ahead and opens itself. "Hey, Regent," a familiar voice says from its depths. Dexterous claws hack the box lid off in front of our eyes. Oh, no way! I set down the box. A black robot scuttles out of it, bowing flamboyantly on the bed. "Comet!" I gasp. "This is a pre-recorded message, so don't bother trying to talk to me," Sasha's voice says through his robot speakers. Comet settles down, flashing one optical unit on and off in a wink. "I heard about Ruby and figured you could use a friend while you recover." My parents are laughing, and Emmeline's hysterical giggles can probably be heard from down the hall. "No way," I repeat. "No way!" "Hopefully we can catch up soon," Sasha's voice continues. Comet locks his front legs together and waves at me. I want to hear all about your little field trip. And don't think that just because you've sent a robot to Mars means that you've beaten me at astrorobotics. Once I have Comet back, I'll be outfitting him with thrusters of his own. I laughed, shaking my head at the robot. Of course you will. But feel free to keep him around as long as you'd like. Just know that I expect him back in the exact same condition that I sent him to you in. No modifications, Regent. With that, the voice message ends, and I'm left with the biggest grin I've had on my face since the day I was picked as a cadet. 3 days after our hospitalization, the 6 of us finally have a moment to ourselves. No adults, no nurses, just us. We're on a beach outside our hospital. The waves wash up against the shore, and I close my eyes, listening to them. It's hard to imagine that just days ago we were stranded out in those same waves, waiting to be rescued. That just days ago we were crashing back to Earth. That just days ago we were thousands of miles away, heading to a planet where water in these quantities has long ceased to exist. You know, Esteban interrupts our reverie, we landed on the moon back when computers were the size of entire buildings. I opened my eyes, glancing his way. Esteban's voice still sounds rough, but his color has returned. It's just good to see him without any breathing apparatuses. We did? Really? Tell us more things we didn't already know about the history of space travel, Anna says. Tamaki smirks at her. Yeah, what was the astronaut's name? Neil Buzzstrong? Tamaki teases, tossing a seashell towards Esteban. Esteban doesn't miss a beat and catches the shell. No, come on, guys, I'm just saying. We survived, and we could still go to Mars. I'd say it's our duty, actually. And really, I know a lot of stuff is gone, but it's not the equipment that matters. Najma lies back in the sand, exhaling. Her fingers are wrapped around Esteban's. I get it, she says. I don't, I say, honestly still baffled. Esteban sighs. We're so fixated on the blown-up technology and how our space programs are doomed because of that. But I don't think it's the technology that really gets us to the moon or to Mars. I blink at the Florida sunshine. So, what is it then? Anna asks, leaning back. Isn't it obvious? Esteban picks up a fistful of sand with his free hand and lets it trickle through his fingers. Then he looks up into the sky. It's us. I look up toward the clouds in the same direction as Esteban. I suppose you're right, I say. We all sit in silence for another moment. Actually, Raheem says, I'm pretty sure the technology helps too. Everyone laughs, and I reach for Comet, who's sitting on a towel next to me. Technology? I rest my hand on the robot and look back up at the sky above. I can build that.